How can you build your CV as a virtual assistant without any experience? I want us to talk about it today. And at the end, you will learn the tricks beginners are using to build their CVs and land remote jobs. Because the truth is, in 2025, nobody wants to hire someone who has no relevant experience. That's why I always tell virtual assistant, like, don't just say you want to be a virtual assistant with no experience. Nobody will hire you that way. I'm not saying people will not hire you, but the chances are just very, very slim. But here's what I want you to know: if you have completed your virtual assistant training, I want you to know that that is already experience on its own. And the only issue is clients want proof. They want to see proof. They want to see if you have worked with someone before. It's just like you trying to give your clothes to a tailor. You want to see the clothes the person have made before you can even trust them. Now the question is, how do I build relevant experience when no one is ready to hire me? At least someone needs to hire me first before I can add it to my CV, right? So now, guys, some of the tricks people are using to land remote jobs as a virtual assistant and still build experience. One of them is volunteering. I want you to go to idealist.org before it was called volunteermatch.org and look for volunteer opportunities there. But I don't want you to just search for any volunteer roles. If you want to be an executive assistant, look for volunteer opportunities in that exact role or something similar. And if you don't find what you want, do outreach, send messages to business owners and tell them you want to volunteer or intern with them. If you have a friend running a business, offer to volunteer for them. If you have a pastor who is always busy, volunteer to be his executive assistant. The point is, just volunteer to gain relevant experience. Because if you lie on your CV that you can do something, and at the end they realize that you cannot do it, my dear, you will lose that job. And one thing is that when you are adding those experience in your CV, don't write it as volunteer. Write it as real work experience, because that is exactly how people are doing it and it works. And I'm not saying it is impossible to get a job without any relevant experience. But the truth is your chances are 3 out of 10. So if you want to increase your chances, start volunteering and build that CV. But don't ever lie on your CV. If you don't have the experience, don't state it there, because that thing will haunt you later. That is the truth. So let me know if you find this helpful, and if you do not forget to like, comment, and share. And I'll see you in my next video. You're welcome. Bye bye.